I know what you've been told about bagging grass clippings, but is it even true? Don't be part of the sheeple. I know how conversations like this go. Everybody comes in hot with what if this and what if that? Well, that's what I've not been told a million times. You're wrong. Well, guess what? I'm not wrong because everything I am going to share with you is backed by research that I get from the Extension Office at the University of Arkansas. I am just north of there, so that's where I learn a lot of the things that I practice in my lawn. Now, a lot of what we're going to talk about today applies mainly to warm season grasses like zoysia and especially Bermuda. But this goes against probably a lot of things that you've heard in the past. So today on Budget Lawns, we're going to talk about 4 reasons why I do not bag the clippings in my lawn, and only 1 reason why I do. Well, aside from it saving a lot of time and money and work in the lawn, not bagging your grass clippings has so many benefits and does not cause all the problems that you're used to hearing. So let's start with number 1. Okay, I'm actually going to read some of this to you, and I'm also going to leave the link to this article down below so you can go check out the whole thing yourself. Well, this first thing we talk about a lot here on Budget Lawns, why you should mulch your clippings, and that's because when you return those clippings back to the lawn, it is free fertilizer. Get this, when grass clippings are allowed to decay naturally on the lawn, they release valuable nutrients which improve the soil. If clippings are returned, fertilizer applications can be reduced by 30%. Returning the clippings to your lawn will supply up to 2 pounds of nitrogen per 1,000 square feet per year. Think about that. That's like an extra round of fertilizer for free for you. The clippings contribute to the formation of organic matter, which makes the soil softer and plants more drought tolerant. Organic matter also encourages the presence of earthworms, which are very effective in preventing thatch accumulation. Is there anything in that that makes you think maybe I should bag my clippings? No, absolutely not. Take advantage of that organic matter that you're going to get from those clippings and that fertilizer and put them back into the lawn, not into a brown paper bag. All right, that's number 1. Number 2, you're going to hear people all the time say, if you got a bad weed infestation, you better be bagging your clippings. Here's what I say to that. If you're worried about not bagging, spreading those weed seeds around the lawn, then you must be doing a terrible job at your other weed control practices. Okay? If you're good at applying a regular pre-emergent herbicide, hand-picking weeds, and taking care of any weeds with a post-emergent, it shouldn't matter if you're throwing those weed seeds all over the lawn. I know a lot of you will disagree with that, but guess what? I never bag no matter how many weeds I've got because I know I can take care of those weeds at any time with pre and post-emergents and a little hand-picking. So it's not going to hurt me to spread them around, okay? Just don't fail at your weed control practices, and you don't have to worry about bagging when you have a weed infestation. Okay, that's number 2. How about number 3? Kind of along the same lines of spreading those weed seeds, you always hear that if you have fungus in the lawn, you are going to spread it everywhere if you don't bag your clippings. Wrong. Let me read this so you don't have to take my word for it. Clippings do not spread lawn diseases. Shout out to my wife for putting the cardstock in the printer, and me not knowing about it sure makes it a lot easier to present this to you. Diseases of turf grass occur when disease-causing spores contact susceptible grasses under ideal environmental conditions. Disease spores are present whether clippings are controlled or returned. Watering, fertilization, and sharpness of the mower blade have a much greater influence on the occurrence of disease than returning clippings. Sound familiar? Those cultural practices that we talk about all the time? that will help you prevent disease and weeds and pests and other terrible things in your lawn. So not bagging your clippings and mulching them back to the lawn is not going to spread lawn diseases. I know there's probably some of you out there shaking your heads. Not true. That's not true, man. That's not true. I wouldn't listen to this. You're not listening to me. If you got a problem with this, take it up with the folks at the University of Arkansas Extension Office. Okay? I'm just the messenger. Okay? That's number 3. Clippings do not spread lawn disease. And our 4th reason why I don't bag clippings, and don't think twice about it. I've heard people say, and I kind of laugh because I don't want to correct them because I don't want to be that guy, but I hear a lot that I bag my clippings because they cause thatch, and I don't want a thatch issue in my lawn. It's not true. That's not true. In the 1960s, it was commonly believed grass clippings were a major component of thatch, and removing clippings dramatically slowed thatch development. In 1967, researchers at the University of Rhode Island completed and published a detailed study of thatch showing it was primarily composed of lignin, I think I'm saying that right, containing tissues, crowns and stems, as well as living turf grass roots. They concluded leaves and clippings do not contribute to thatch buildup. Their findings were confirmed in numerous other studies. Thatching tendency in zoysia grasses only increased by 3%, only 3% from returning clippings, which is likely the result of the nutrients added from recycling clippings. Research with Bermuda grass also confirmed clippings do not contribute to thatch buildup. Boom. You're not going to create a thatch problem if you are mulching your clippings and not bagging them. Okay, now a lot of you say, well, what if I just left for vacation for 2 weeks and I came back and everything was overgrown? Okay, maybe that's a time you might want to bag them, or you could just slowly reduce your height of cut over the course of several mowings, because if you do leave big clumps of grass clippings on the lawn, then they can damage your turf. So use your own discretion on some of these. I know cool season lawn people will say a different story about all of this stuff. Warm season turf is a totally different animal, but this is just what the research shows. Mulching your clippings gives you free fertilizer. It does not spread lawn disease. It does not cause thatch. It saves a lot of time, effort, and work. And if you're doing your weed control practices correctly, you will not spread weeds or make them worse. I know in theory that will happen, but be good at the other stuff and you don't have to worry about those things. All right, so those are the 4 reasons why I mulch my clippings and never bag. There's only one time that I bag my clippings in my lawn. I say one, but it's really 3 times a year, and the one time I bag my clippings is when I scalp. And I will scalp my Bermuda grass lawn in the spring to level with sand and to reset the height of cut towards the middle to latter part of summer. All 3 of those times when I scalp, I will bag the clippings. In the spring, because we're trying to get all that dead material out to open up the soil to the heat and sunshine and all the other nutrients to get it to green up faster. When you level with sand, scalping and bagging those clippings just makes it easier to work the sand down into the turf. And when you're setting the height of, resetting your height of cut, you just want to get all that material out of the way again to kind of start anew to finish up your season. So there, scalping, only time I bag my clippings. Otherwise, they stay in the lawn and work to my advantage. All right, my friends, I hope this video will clear up some of the truths, not truths, misconceptions, worries, concerns about whether you should bag or not bag your clippings when you mow. If you want to read this article again, it is down below. This is from the University of Arkansas Extension Office. A great resource to use if you want to learn more and not take everyone's word online. for what you should be doing in your lawn. These are professionals. These are educated turf grass people that only publish the truth. So find your local extension office and research their materials to see what you can find that will help you out in your yard. But that is going to do it for this edition of Budget Lawns. I appreciate you as always for being here. If you found this video helpful, come on now, give me a thumbs up, leave me a comment below. If you're new here, I hope we'll see you more often. If you're a regular, I greatly appreciate you as always, and we will see you in the next one.